All right, as is the usual norm, the first one hatches, and the second one to do anything is not very far along, but somebody way back in the corner went from a pip to, I think he's gonna come out in this video, hopefully in the next couple of minutes anyway, but he raced ahead and beat this guy, which I noticed second, and that guy, which I noticed third, and this one here, it's like I turned around and then I came back and looked, and bam, he is minutes away from being hatched. Yes, you. So if you ever incubate chicks, you will find that they become very, very attached very, very quickly. So chicks aren't like human babies where they're totally dependent on you. It takes these guys a couple of hours, and then they're pretty steady on their feet and ready to basically take care of themselves. All you have to do is provide a location that has food and water, and they actually do all of the rest. So the fact that they're somewhat attached to a human is kind of fun, at least for me anyway. But we'll see. I think this might be a Barred Rock hybrid. Usually if they're at least some Jersey Giant, their feet will be dark in coloration. Otherwise, if they're a Barred Rock, they're usually like a tan, or almost the size of the color of the eggs, in fact. Well, I thought you were going to come out, but it looks like you're going to take a break. Well, that is a lot of effort that you did in a very short period of time, so I get it. Oh, wait, I spoke too soon. You're almost there, buddy. And of course, this little guy is walking all over the eggs, which I think encouraged a lot more movement from this guy and possibly even this one. This one, he hasn't poked all the way through yet, but the egg rocks back and forth quite a bit. So, oh, here we go. It's a head. Little chicken eyeball. Hey, little guy. Push, push. I feel like John Hammond here. I insist on being there when they are born. But wouldn't it be hatched? I don't know. Is that like a strict mammal thing, or does it apply to little fuzzballs like this? Well, I bet that if I turn around and stop looking, this guy's going to come out of the egg, so... Oh. Yeah, see, you're right there, man. You already done the hard work. All you got to do now is stick your head out, unless you're trapped in the little strings of egg there. I get it, though. That is a lot of effort. It's more than this guy's done, and he had like a 20-hour head start. I don't see anybody else, though, so we had this guy, and then this one, and this one, and that one, and I think there's another one over in there somewhere. I could be wrong. I think the chick that's in there that's moving around actually has pretty much ran over all of the eggs and moved them all a little bit, which is fine. That's what would also happen in a nest, so not that big of a deal. See, you're like right there, but you have some like strings attached to both sides of that shell, so just looking around at these other eggs, I don't see anything coming on this side really. We are way high on humidity. We're up at 71%, which is just ridiculously high, but I can't really do much about it right now. I've got the vent all the way open, and I had been doing pretty good with keeping it in the 60s, 50s, high 50s, low 60s, and then suddenly we're at 71%, which might be bad, but I can't. It's probably less bad to just leave it alone. Than to open it up and let some of the air out. Well, what you doing there, little dude? Huh? Oop, oof. Yeah, see, his legs are like a yellowish color, which is a barred rock trait for the most part. Obviously, this guy isn't 100% barred rock because we don't have a barred rock rooster. We've got a half barred rock, half Jersey Giant rooster, and then we have barred rock hens, but we don't have a barred rock rooster to go with the barred rock hens. We have a Jersey Giant rooster, and so pretty much has to be either half barred rock or a quarter barred rock at this point. One thing that we haven't seen in any of the hatches yet is a half barred rock or a half Jersey Giant and half Americana, in case one of our barred rock hens or Jersey Giant hens actually mated with a Americana we have out here called Rusty. He's really, really pretty, but there is a lot of variation in the look of those, and I can't get rid of him because he's so pretty that my girls don't want me to, even though I hate diluting the heritage breeds. Probably not a huge deal, just kind of a personal thing with me, I guess. Well, what do you say we end this video? Because I thought for sure this guy was going to pop out, but he looks like he's going to go ahead and go back to taking a nap. I bet you I will turn around, do something for 15 or 20 minutes, and come back to 2 chicks. But, you know, I kind of got you coming out of the egg, so we have that. Oh, maybe. You're really close, dude. Move this incubator real slow. See if we can't get a look at him. Yep. There's our beak, doing chicken things with it. They're very fond of that. Oh yes, look at that. And we got a pip over there as well. I think that's all the ones I've been able to find so far is this guy, this one, that guy of course, this egg, and this egg. So that's still pretty good because we're at 2 days before we're supposed to start hatching. So, oh, what happened, man? Oh, that's a foot, not your head. There's your head. Oh, here we go. Yes, I knew if I waited long enough, we would get a hatch on video. Come on, you're right there now. I mean, you've been right there, but now you're halfway out right there. So their heads are actually tucked underneath their wings, so it helps guide their beaks, and that's how they punch a hole. Is they got their head underneath their wing, they stick their beak out, and then they push with their back legs, and then they spend time rotating inside the egg, and they do it again and again and again until the egg is half cut or more, like that, and then they just push off with their legs and it gets them out of the egg. Every once in a while you get one that does this, and see he's rotating around. You can see where the hole is, and then he's broke its shell here. He's going to keep on going. In a couple of cases I saw them do what I think human intuition would suggest that you do with an egg, which is force your head through and bust out of the egg like that. I actually had one do basically that. Last time he made a hole and then went around the hole and around the hole and around the hole until the hole was big enough for his head to pop out, and he just kind of like forced his way out through the egg like that. It was really weird. I don't think that's supposed to happen. This is what's supposed to happen, and it's really worked for this guy, hasn't it? Yeah, you are the what's the word? Bird? Oh no. You are the quickest hatch, probably overall, because you were just a pip like 2 hours ago, tops. And this guy's been doing that since yesterday at this time. And you weren't very quick either, but you were the first, so I guess it doesn't matter. All right, now we got two baby chickens. Yay! Pretty much get you all hatched. I can see your feet and I can see your head, so yep, we're gonna take a little baby nap. Oh, yep. Chick naps don't last very long usually, but they take a lot of them. And just like any other baby, they spend about the same amount of time awake as asleep or less, and especially with ones like this where they're very newly born, it's a lot of effort to do what they just did, and I'm guessing humans probably couldn't do it. I don't think I could bust out of something as thick as an egg compared to this guy at 0 days old, but they managed pretty good. So that's 2 hatched. 2 days till they're supposed to be hatched. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what, but that's kind of interesting that they're so quick, and it's such a large percentage of my total hatch this time. Yeah. Alright, well, you two hang tight. So you don't actually have to feed or water these guys for a few days because they've internalized the food source that they've been eating off of for the last few days. So, birds don't have a maternal connection umbilical device. So everything that's in the egg needs to be everything that they need for almost a month. And in these guys' case, the last few days or a week of their gestation, they internalize all that energy, and then they can actually survive off of that for a day or so, maybe up to 3 if they're lucky. So I can actually leave these guys in the incubator to dry off, which is pretty important, really, because they are very, very small. They come out wet, as you can see here, and they're not very capable of providing their own heat. So what's going to happen to these guys is I'm going to let them stay in there until they're dry, and then I'm going to move them outside to a brooder box, which actually has a very large heat plate, and I'm going to set them up in that thing, and they're going to just hang out in there underneath that heat plate for a little while I keep adding their brothers and sisters. And everybody that's currently occupying that brooder box is going to have to move elsewhere. The turkeys have pretty much totally feathered out, so they're probably fine to actually be on a yard, but I'm not going to do it because they're still there's ravens and hawks out here that would love to make a little meal out of them. As well, my dogs are really good with chickens and ducks and geese. They're not overly trustworthy with very, very small birds. I think it's because they don't connect that that's also a chicken, and they go, well, The owner won't mind if I eat this wild creature I've just found, and they've never seen turkeys at all, so I'm a little bit cautious with that. But these guys obviously need to go somewhere, and I think the larger baby birds would either trample them or peck them to death. So we're gonna have to find them their own little spot, which is probably going to be a current spot, so no big deal. No, it's not, but you guys are gonna stay in there until you're dry, because even though you're hatched and I have a heat plate, I don't think it's going to be good for drying you off. You have to get nice and fluffy, and then you can go outside. What do you say? So I'm taking a nap. You're fine, buddy. See? Right here. I'm right there. Yep. So your mama, if they can see you through the glass, and they become very, very friendly to you. If they're hatched by their moms, it's not the same at all. So they definitely connect people with mama. All right. Well, you're pretty much totally out of that egg, except your fat little chicken butt. So what do you say we end the video here? It's already atrociously large. Yes.